This is the On Location Challenge, which basically means photographing somebody in a setting and kind of making an environmental portrait. So I do a lot of environmental portraits with my work. I'm always photographing people in the place where they live, the place where they work. But for this particular challenge, I wanted to photograph a friend of mine when we traveled. So Ryan and I were going to India to work on a personal photo series of mine. But I thought it'd be interesting to show a Westerner in very typical Indian environments. So the two setups were, one is Ryan getting a traditional Indian shave on the side of the road, and the other setup is a rickshaw man pulling Ryan through the street. For this whole shoot, I want it to be as if Ryan is a traveler going to this faraway place, but still integrating into the culture. So he's getting a shave, he's doing what they do, and he's riding in a rickshaw. So there's these kind of street side barbers in India where you can just walk down the street and they have a little chair set up and a mirror, and you can get a shave and a haircut, I guess, on your way to work. So we were walking by and I saw this one really interesting barber who I just wanted to photograph on his own. I just wanted to do a straight portrait of him. So I thought after doing that he could also be an interesting subject to be in my shot with Ryan. Since he was an actual real barber, he would know exactly what to do and where to hold the razor and things like that. So I just asked him if he wanted to be part of it. In exchange, I doubled his shaving and haircut fee, and I paid him well for his time. So we walked by this guy. He had an interesting mustache, kind of had an interesting look to him, and he was very patient with us when we did the shoot.
Candy girl, you showed me candy in a brown paper bag. So I ate it and the world exploded with sunshine. But my fountain
Just explain to them what exactly is we're doing. Like, I basically want to take a photo of Ryan getting an Indian street shave, and just explain a little bit how we use this lighting and how it's going to flash. That's it. It's going to be tricky. Light it up. Alright, Frank, do you want to bring that light in?
I had a lot of trouble lighting this shoot as well because there were so many people around and it was so crowded. So I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but my Octabank up in that tiny alleyway just wasn't flying. So I kind of looked around this alleyway and I saw the way the natural light fell, which was there was sunset above this kind of yellowish tarp above where the guy was cutting hair. And what that did was kind of put an overcast light on the subject sitting in the barber chair, but it wasn't strong enough and it wasn't contrasted enough for what I wanted. So what I did was I got my bare bulb Profoto flash head and I pretended it was a more powerful sun. So we extended that on a pole above that yellowish tarp and flashed it. And the effect it gave was when the bulb flashed, it was very harsh, but it was filtered through that yellowish tarp and gave a very kind of like nice look on Ryan's face as he laid back in the barber's chair. The light also took on the color qualities of the tarp, so the light ended up looking nice and warm as well. Whenever I shoot in a place like North America or Europe, getting permits and the proper permission for the places I shoot is really important because if a cop sees you and tries to stop you, your whole shoot could be ruined. Now, getting permits in places like India is a little bit different. There are proper permits, you know, for big productions, but for something small with me, like where it's kind of run and gun, the city where I was working in Varanasi, it really doesn't matter. No one's really going to bother you in terms of police closing down your shoot. The main problem you're going to have is dozens and dozens of onlookers surrounding and kind of like looking and trying to just being curious as to what you're doing.
I go.
You have to have patience when you do a shoot like that because you get so many onlookers who mean well. They're just curious, but they're in the way of your shot, and it's very, like, you don't feel right screaming at these people, yeah, move out of the way, because, like, at the end of the day, they just kind of want to be part of the shoot anyway. So I had this idea of doing this ultra wide shot looking down this narrow street with Ryan getting a shave, but it proved to be impossible just because there's so many people that would like stick their head out the window and get in the way. So I thought, okay, this picture is going to have to be a close-up.
Come stand right here. Okay, so I'm lighting this really quick. Tom, just stay like that. He kind of had his hand on Ryan's forehead. Like, he doesn't have to actually shave, he can just pretend right now. So he had like one hand here. And to go down. Everything looks good.
The light coming through the tarp, because of the position of Ryan's head, gave a little bit of a shadow on the area closest to the camera, and it looked a little bit overly lit. So what I did was I positioned the Octabank on an angle toward his face just to almost act as a bounce reflector. So it just filled in that dark shadow a little bit.
The hold still. Put his face up so I can see it. And maybe shave like right here. Just pretending. Yeah, and then look at Ryan. Okay, awesome, we're finished. Thank you.
Finished?
All finished.
Okay.